Good morning everyone. Today I am going to discuss about the three subtopic in a ERP subject. ERP means Enterprise Resource Planning. This is a subject in a third semester, fifth semester of computer engineering branch. Okay, so we'll start with the point BPR, Business Process Reengineering. Our second topic is Online Analytical Processing. Third is process life cycle. So we'll see first one, what is meant by business process re-engineering. So for defining, we have to divide this word into two categories. Firstly, we'll define the business process, and after that the what is meant by re-engineering. Everyone, you know what is process. Process is nothing but doing something or set of activity to do something. Here is also the business process means it is the collection of activity which is used to produce some value to the customer. Why? Because it is concerning with particular business. It may be any organization which is used for different category of business. So it is nothing but the set of activity to do work or to give the output to the customer. Now what is meant by re-engineering? Re-engineering means that reproducing or redesigning the previously designed product, or redesigning the previously designed product which must be based on predefined principle. It is that product design should be depend upon some predefined principle. Means you have to do some modification or some feature if you want to add in a previous system or existing system. At that time you have to redesign it. That is also called as re-engine it. That is the process of re-engineering. So combiningly, what is meant by BPR? It is nothing but the set of activity or the process of redesigning a product or workflow. Sometimes this BPR is used for redesigning a product also, and workflow. Workflow means any different organization have the different steps to follow to work, or way of working is different. So if you have to modify the workflow, then it is nothing but the business process reengineering. Means we are doing some modification in a original workflow. Why you are doing modification? Why? Because for making a good workflow or a time consuming workflow or the cost efficient workflow. So some modification must be there, or some features must be, innovative feature must be added, so that it give you some advantages. So BPR, what are the steps required for making the redesigning the workflow? What is the first step? For this we have to follow. First step is that you have to define the vision and mission for the workflow, or where you want to make a change, where you want to redesign particular process. So you have to make a note of it. Means you have to document which steps you have to modify, which workflow you have to modify. Why? Because there are a number of processes. At a time you can't modify all the processes at a time. So only you have to note down which process you have to modify. Second step is that map and analyze as is model. As is model says as it is. Means whatever the existing workflow, you have to analyze it. You have to analyze it. Means you have to analyze the existing system, that how it is working, what improvement should be there, what is the time required for the existing process and the new process. So you have to document it comparatively. You have to document it comparatively. So it is map and analyze is as model. So you have to find out the existing process, feature and improvement that you are going to do, and compare it both existing and new process. Now third steps that you have to follow, that you have to design to process. Design to process means if there are some another alternative, means you are finding the solution that existing system and a new modification, but if there is another alternative for this solution, then you have to note down this alternative also. Why? Because if modification is not there, then you can use another option as a alternative, so that you can make the changes. So that is our third steps. Fourth is that your actual implementation of your improvement. Actual implementation of improvement, whatever you are doing or what you have decided to do, that re-engineering your workflow. For that you have to give the training program and work for the worker and to implement it, that workflow at a full scale. So that is the actual implementation. Last step is that here after making a changes, there after some days there is another modification, then you have to again re-engine that particular business process or workflow. That in this way the cycle like process is going on, that another improvement and next to next improvement be there in a workflow, and this workflow must be have the some innovative improvement. So there is a improvement must be there, or the innovative improvement. We will take one example, then you will have the clear idea. Take an example of the purchase department. What is the job of the purchase department? That give the order of the purchase to the vendor, then after getting the request, the vendor will you have to make the payment, that is second step, and you will receive the good. This number of steps you can see in this diagram. This is the flow of work, but sometime you can make a change in that workflow in different way. That is called the process of BPR. Example, this type of application or the BPR process, re-engineering process, can be used in a public and the private sector. That it may be IBM, Sony, HP and other banking systems. So this is all about the BPR. We'll move next for the OLAP. What is OLAP? OLAP is nothing but online analytical process. In that we have to analyze the data, proper data. Means there are large number of data in any organization. At that time, if you want to analyze and only access key data or some sort of data, then at that time this type of processing or this type of application are used to analyze your data interactively. Interactively means you are gone analyzing the data, and whatever the important information from the data we can access. Why at it? Because it for every steps there are large number of data, and for finding the data in a large amount of data, particular data in a large amount of data, it is very time consuming process. So this type of application you have to visualize the data interactively in a multi-dimensional view. See, all the data are stored in a database in a multi-dimensional schema. So this type of application is used. In another way, you can say that it is the process of converting your raw data into business information, like your full notes to short notes. Okay, converting your raw data into meaningful information, meaningful business information. So that is the application. In that application, there are two major components is given for this OLAP. First is the OLAP server. It required OLAP server and OLAP database. Firstly, I have already told you that all the data are stored in a database, in a relational database. But here in this application, data will be visualized in a multi-dimensional view. So there is a conversion from relational to multi-dimensional view of the data. So in that, the database stored the multi-dimensional schema of the your raw data. Means you have converted raw data into business information. I will also give the example, then you will have the clear idea what is meant by OLAP application, how it is stored the information. Now second component is the OLAP server. OLAP server means it analyzes how the database is organized and how the data are analyzed. Means how it is organized in a multi-dimensional view and how it is analyzed particular amount of data or particular level of data. So this is the job of the server. Take example of this. I will give you, see, this is RDBMS, hierarchical database and flat files. These all are the example of the relational database. Here the data is stored in a relational database. Here we have the OLAP server, which is used for converting that relational database to multi-dimensional view of the data. Okay, what will be the advantage of this then? We can access the data, proper data within a small amount of time. Suppose take an example, if you want to find out the company sale in July 2020 and July 2021, okay, March 2021. In that case, you can compare the selling and buying in that particular 2 months. So it is very a quick process. Why? Because data is in a multi-dimensional view, stored in a multi-dimensional view. Like that, you can find out the sale by in particular month in a particular year, or same month in a same year, and vice versa. So this type of application are used for quick access and the whatever the data you require in a small amount of time. So this is the online analytical process. So this is also maybe for 4 marks, and BPR is also 4 or 5 marks question be there in a question paper, maybe there. Now last topic is the PLM, that is process life cycle management. Process life cycle management refers to the management of the all phases. I have already in my last video, project management video, I have discussed give you the idea of what is the steps of project management. That is the initiating, creation, monitoring and the closing. This is a phases. So in that process life cycle management also there is a management of all the phases, and one more thing, that's handling of product, handling of goods. This handling of goods also involve steps from manufacturing of the process up to the marketing it. Means starting from manufacturing of the product and its marketing, all the steps are be there in a life cycle, process life cycle. Okay, so you can say that it is the management of or the handling of product which include manufacturing as well as marketing of the product. So in that cycle we have to follow 4 steps. First is the manufacturing of the product or the production or the development of the product. Second is the growth of the product. Growth refers to that we are going to upward and downward direction, where you are producing, if at the high level or the low level, means how much amount of growth in a production department. Third is the maturity and stability. Is there any stability of the production, that after some amount of time that much production must be there, means like that the scenario is there, that stability or maturity for production. If there is a no selling or buying, then the stability is not there. So after that the last step is the decline, means the closing of the phase or closing of that life cycle. So main are the 3 steps. First is the manufacturing, second is the growth of the production and stability of the production, and decline, closing it and marketing. So in another word, you can say that this is the process of handling a goods which include manufacturing of the product up to the marketing. So all those phases are involved here, and there is a management of these phases. But what is the concept behind these terms or these phases? How it helps in making any business decision in terms of pricing of the product, cost cutting for that product, and some promotion or expansion of the product. So growth means you can count the growth in a promotion and expansion. So this term refers to these phases. So this type of concept of all this concept helps in making a decision and promotion, like that. It is very important phase, that is the process life cycle management.